Hey everybody, welcome back to more of my 2020 Creepypasta Extrava Specialganza. I say it differently every time.
You
It
do.
is currently 1:50 in the morning on October 22nd. I am tired, he is tired. We have to record two more of these tonight and then tomorrow play an incredible amount of Overwatch.
Immature Jam.
So much Overwatch. But it won't be hard. It won't be like much because it won't be as stressful because we can just play. But we're gonna have to play for like 4 hours. Okay. So if you don't know what's going on by now, I take three groups of three words and I make a random story. I make a random spoopy story out of the words given in each group. I have to connect them together somehow, or at the very least, use them in the concept of each story. Writing prompt is more or less what these are because I'm not writing a full goddamn story. I'm just simply coming up with the concept for a story. If you are hearing these and you're like, I like this idea, I want to turn this into something, go ahead, just give me a little bit of credit
I
some
mean,
fucking
if you
where.
want, it's NaNoWriMo next month. You could write that novel you've been putting off for never.
You're not gonna. Anyway, uh, or prove me wrong and leave a link, like, hit me up on Twitter and be like, hey, I wrote this book. And
I
I
used your thing and there was a
use
thing.
yeah, and ha ha ha, you're wrong. Anyway, we're using a random word generator for this episode. Mark, hit us with the next word, the
Yeah,
first
the
word.
next whatever it is. Let's see.
I'm having a Tom Collins. By Tom Collins, I mean lemonade and iced tea.
I am uncomfortable with words it gave me.
Oh, that's good then. Is one of them
Want?
is want?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Extend.
Oh God.
Child.
I'm up for a challenge.
Okay.
Oh my God! I got it immediately.
Want
A
child extend.
two parents, two parents who were having a lot of trouble. This is a short one. These are going to be the shortest videos by far. I don't know
Good.
why. Don't know why. Two parents who are having trouble. Why all my stories have like magic in them? Every story has magic in it. Every fucking story has magic in it.
Because most of your favorite horror like movies are all like grounded in reality.
Yes, every single one. All the ones I like are like based in reality. I mean, it depends on what you call
I
reality.
mean, like fictional reality, but like
Reality
it could really
nonetheless.
happen.
Yeah, I mean, Saw could definitely happen with the right amount of resources. So this is more of a Jiminy Cricket, um, Pinocchio thing.
You're fine.
Are you ready for the stupidest thing you've heard today?
I, I don't feel like that's true, but go for it.
Okay. Two parents who are having a really hard time conceiving a child finally conceive at the age of 30. At the age of 39 and 42. I'm not good. You can pick which one.
Mhm.
They finally conceive. They,
They finally conceived.
they finally conceive. Present. Oh my god. Ah! 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 I'm sorry. I
Um,
I oh, hold on. Oh, there we go. I know what's in my head. You guys don't. But somebody out there has to know exactly what I'm about to say. Somebody's like, he's gonna say this, and I am about to say that. They wish upon a shooting star that their child lives a long and a prolonged life,
uh,
like an extended life full of happiness, I guess. But sometimes wishes get muddled.
hmm
So basically, that's the extend part. That they wish that their child has a long life ahead of them. because they just want the best for their unborn baby. Months go by. Months go by, and the wife's, the mother's belly starts to get big and bigger, and she's never been pregnant before, but she's seen other pregnant women, and she's just like, this
ain't right.
this ain't right. I like, this is more than one baby. Am I having twins? Like maybe even triplets? And so she goes and she gets her ultrasound done, and the doctor is just baffled at what he sees. I'm so sorry. I am not a well man. And he doesn't say anything to the mom. He tells the dad, you have to leave. Like, you need to go. We're going to have to do an emergency C-section. And they're like, what is it? Like, is he like, is it twins? Is it triplets? Quadruplets even? And he's like, and he just leaves the room. He doesn't give words. He just leaves the room, and like a team of nurses come in, and they tell the dad to go out in the hallway because they're going to have to do an emergency C-section, as I said before.
So then turn in the corner, like writing all of it down and documenting it so they can write a thesis paper about it.
Yeah. Or whatever. Whatever he said. And so the dad's out in the hall, the nurses and the doctor are inside, and the wife is like panicking. They try to sedate her, and she's not fully out of it, but she's very loopy. And minutes go by, and suddenly the dad hears one of the nurses shriek in utter terror, and she comes running out of the room and just books it down the hallway, and he runs to the door before it closes, and as he looks in, there is just the longest stretch of skin coming out of his wife's stomach, and he's like, holy fuck, is it like a tapeworm? Because he's, in shock. He doesn't know what it is. It's their baby. Like, the torso of the baby has stretched for at least 8 or 9 feet, and it was coiling around itself in the womb. So basically their baby was a fucking snake. The baby wasn't a snake. But they said they wanted it to live a long life. So they
They just got a long baby. There was part of me that was like thinking, is it just like a giant sperm? Like, is it just a sperm growing forever until it bursts?
I am quite literally just like picturing, like, like in the Twix commercials when they break the Twix open and like the caramel kind of like droops. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm seeing. Like, think along the lines of melted chewing gum, just like dripping, or mozzarella. Mozzarella is all melty and gooey, and this baby's like spine is non-existent, and it's just this long ass torso that could be like used to fucking, I don't know, do something that you do with a long present. Do with a long rope or a rope of sorts. It tickled the visual is what got me.
Yeah.
The visual alone is what got me. I am so sorry if y'all were like, that's not a very good payoff. Your imagination is terrible. That's not funny, but that's funny. I don't even know if the baby's alive. That's up to you.
At this point, yeah.
Like, all right, give me the next. Jesus Christ. Long ass baby.
Long ass baby.
That's the name of the story. Is called Lab.
Back to lab again.
A long ass baby. Lab.
So we have Shell. We have Despair. And we have Raw.
A dude goes to a beach, goes to a biatch, and he walking around on the beach. He steps on a shell, and it cuts the bottom of his foot, and it gets infected, or at least he thinks it's infected. And it starts to itch, which I've heard is like a good sign. Like itching is like the sign of healing. Don't quote me on that. And he starts to scratch, but it's one of those itches that feels like it's in the bottom of his foot. So it doesn't feel like the skin is itching. It feels like the inside of his foot is itching. And he starts to scratch, and he doesn't sound like some Shivering Truth shit. And he starts to scratch, and he scratches Shell, Despair, and what?
Shell, Despair, what?
What's the other word?
Yeah.
What was the other word? The fuck? Shell, Despair, and what?
Raw.
Raw, okay. He scratches his foot raw, but he doesn't just scratch it raw. He scratches the entire top layer of dermis away, the layer beyond that. He has now scratched himself beyond a 3rd-degree burn. His muscle is now exposed, and he is scratching through the muscle, through the tissue, through the sinew. He is peeling. Oh God, this sounds gross. Y'all seen Cabin Fever? Y'all seen Cabin Fever? You know that scene in the fucking bathtub?
It's like that.
Whole lot of that. And that makes, I don't like that. I don't like that I said that. I don't like that I thought about that. I am immediately unhappy. Just unhappy. And like he can't, I would say like he begins to despair at beforehand, because there's no real way to like use that word any other way as far as I'm aware. So like so I would say like before he starts scratching, like he's trying to like doctor on it and take care of it. He's got it wrapped up. He's like using, he's taking leftover antibiotics and stuff, and he starts to despair because it's not healing or whatever the fuck. And that's when he kind of gives in and just starts scratching, and the scratching isn't helping. Like the top layer of skin is just not where it itches. It itches down in the bone, and he's like using utensils to like dig at, like to like rub against it, and it's just not working. And he just ends up like trying to peel the flesh away. I don't like.
The truth is, his soul is just itching.
Oh no! What happens is he stepped on like a barnacle, and there's like little sea creatures living inside of his foot.
Oh, that's gross.
That's real, apparently. Like barnacles, like they are like little living creatures. I don't like this story. This story has grossed me out. This story has fucking grossed me the entire fuck out. Next word.
Is this the second story?
This is the second story of the night, yeah. Oh, this is the second video of the night. That's the 3rd story. This will be the 3rd story. This will be the final one.
Okay. So this one's...
And no, I don't remember what the first one was.
Suit, coffin, ticket.
Really? Again, with 3 words that really just kind of like...
Write themselves.
Yeah. A suit
A
to
coffin
die
and a
for.
ticket.
Let's say it's a suit to die for. Have you ever heard of Hitler's hooded? No, I'm sorry, not Hitler. Yikes. Have you ever heard of Napoleon Bonaparte's hooded chair?
I have not.
I talk about this a lot because it's apparently it's a true story, which is sad because he knows I talk about it, but he doesn't know shit about the fucking chair. He doesn't listen.
I don't.
It's apparently not a rumor, but that chair is cursed. It is a wooden chair that Napoleon had crafted, and it's hooded, as in there is. Imagine sitting inside a grandfather clock. Imagine if you hollowed out a grandfather clock and you put a small seat on the inside and you sat in it. That's what the chair looks like. Anybody who sits in that chair dies. Not like immediately, but in a relatively soon, like, within a reasonable amount of time after they sit in that chair, something always happens and they die. Enough so to the point where like museums that have the chair will forbid anybody from sitting in it, or will do everything they can to make sure people cannot. It's not in a position where people can sit in it. This suit in tonight's story is much like that hooded chair. It is a suit not owned by anyone in particular. There's no specific reason for this suit to have these qualities, or maybe it does, and maybe you're the reason it has that. Write the story yourself. That's the ticket here. So the ticket part of this is the suit looks amazing. It's oddly specifically tailored, and it just looks really, really good. It has, when I say it looks really good, I mean it just looks really good. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
I am looking at these words, and it's. I hope I can take that out of the background. So what ends up happening is the person in question gets buried in this suit. Maybe it's his favorite suit. Maybe it was the one thing. It was the one thing he asked for on his deathbed. He was like, I want to be buried in my favorite suit. Or maybe she wants to be buried in her favorite dress. I'm only using suit because that's what the words gave me. And so what ends up happening is something about the suit. The son sees the dad in the suit, and after the funeral, before the coffin is put in the ground, he talks to like not a pallbearer, but he talks to a funeral director and is like, hey, can we actually swap this suit out for another one to be buried in, because we don't want to put that suit in the ground. And they're like, why not? He's like, it's, a really good suit, and we don't think he would want it, He wanted to be seen in it, but he didn't. We don't think he would actually want it completely, like, just sealed away in dirt forever. And, given that he's the dude's son, they're like, okay, if you say so, not, who are we to question it? So they do. They trade. They swap the suits out, and they fold it up nicely, put it in a nice box, and they give it to the son, assuming that they're gonna put it away somewhere and yada yada yada. Nope. The son wears it immediately. A month
doesn't
later,
get out of the parking lot, just fucking.
Well, no, because that
I'm joking.
Yeah, I know, I got that, but it's not campy enough to just immediately go full stupid. A month later, the son wearing the suit to a job interview, he gets it. This is where I'm gonna crank up the dumb. Nope, can't do that because it ruins the suit. Give me a second.
The outlaw went to the grave with a snarl, unwilling to serve an eternity for her.
A month later, he's wearing the suit, coming from something, or getting ready to go to something, and he dies. Maybe he goes to plug something into an electrical outlet, and he electrocutes the shit out of his own dumbass. Or maybe he has a heart attack, or a stroke, or something like that. Every time the suit claims a life, every single time the suit claims a life, it has to take the life in a way that preserves the suit. And every single time somebody's about to be buried in the suit, for whatever reason, the suit catches the eye of someone near or dear to the person in the suit. And it continues to claim lives out of pure greed and materialism or some shit like that. Basically, that's the thing. The suit continues to kill people. The only reason the suit leaves the family is because one of the last people Like the son, like who dies from electrocution or whatever. No one asks to keep the suit in this case, but the mortician, on the other hand, decides to keep it. Or like the coroner is like, "This is a really fucking good suit," and he's like, "It ain't scuffed or scratched. It's about the right size," and he decides to take the suit. And so every time a dead body shows up in this suit, the person who comes across it just has to take it, and the suit will claim another life. The story is called "Punch Your Ticket," which doesn't make any sense because no one's going on the trip. But I had to
they're
use
going
it.
on the Eternal trip.
Yeah. Yes, they are. So that's the third story, if I'm not mistaken. We're at 20 minutes. There's no way that was two stories. That was just 2 stories. I'm trying to remember what the first one was. I don't remember what the last one was.
I can't say that at this point either. The itchy. It's the itchy.
Oh yeah, fuck. I was trying to blank that out of my fucking memory. Yeah, I don't remember that at all. I don't remember what the first one was either. Again, I don't remember what the first one was. But instead of just sitting around trying to remember what it is, that's going to be it for this episode. We have one more. Today is Friday. Tomorrow will be Halloween if you're watching this the night it came out, which you most likely are not, because I know no one watches these because YouTube does not promote new YouTubers. They promote people who are already making it because that's how America works. If you're already popular, there's no need to... We're going to push the people who are popular because they're popular. Like, we're not here to make other people famous. But yeah, if you like what you saw, I guess you can hit the like button. It kind of makes sense because you liked it. Subscribe, share, comment down below. These are writing prompts. Use them to the best of your ability, or don't. I don't care. Either way, this is just content. It's kind of fun. These last 2 have been the best so far. The first 4 videos were either stupid or just unfair. This was a matter of challenge for me. I am doing 3 videos per episode, 7. I'm coming up with a story for 21 videos over the course of 2 nights. All of these videos are being recorded in a 2-night span. So, however long these videos are, you add them up. That's how long it took me to come up with these fucking stories. I don't regret it, but I know for a fact that I probably shouldn't have done this. But with that being said, we're out of here, y'all. Take care of yourselves and be safe. Until next time, peace. TV's in the background. It's not mine.
I know, right?
The power of it.